Well, this is the first in a series of videos dealing with multiple tonguing techniques. Multiple tonguing techniques include double tonguing, triple tonguing, and mixed tonguing. Although double tonguing has been used as a technique by wind performers for centuries, there are early recorder manuals that discuss double tonguing. Flutists also have used double tonguing for centuries, as well as brass performers. The double reed instruments have found double tonguing much less common. Quantz does mention double tonguing to be used on the bassoon, but surprisingly not on the oboe. And Quantz was a Baroque flutist who also wrote about some other woodwind instruments. But you find in the 20th century that double tonguing was not commonly used among instrumentalists. For instance, these well-known players did not support double tonguing. Evelyn Rothwell, Sherman Walt, Archie Camden, and William Spencer, among others. You'll notice that the references for these particular authors come from the 50s and the 60s, when double tonguing was still yet to be widely adopted. However, when we move into the 70s, 80s, and in fact in the 21st century, you see many, many double reed performers are using double tonguing. James Proden, in his work from 1979, notes that half of the oboists surveyed employed double tonguing. Mark Appelstadt and Ron Klimko found in their survey of bassoon performers that well over half the bassoonists employed double tonguing. So it's a widely accepted technique now by double reed players. Now, there are different consonants used with double tonguing. T, D, or L, that is those consonants in the front of the mouth, alveolar consonants, are employed with what we would call the single tonguing, or where the tongue contacts the reed. The K, G, or even Q, the velar consonants, are towards the back of the tongue. That's actually the middle third of the tongue, but towards the back of the upper oral cavity, the roof of the mouth or the palate of the mouth. Those use those particular syllables. So here we see the front of the tongue being used to articulate in an oboe reed. This would be a T, D, or L type consonant. And then the consonants in the back of the mouth, here's for instance is a G that's further back. There's sort of a K that's just underneath the soft palate. And ideal for double tongue is actually to try to get the point of contact as far forward in the mouth under the hard part of the roof of your mouth here. It's quite important when double tonguing that you learn to minimize the motions. So moving back and forth from the T consonant to the K consonant, you can see it becomes sort of a rocking motion back and forth for the double tonguing. I have to note that the bassoonists have a different tongue position than oboe players for double tonguing. The reed projects further in the mouth, meaning the tongue position is going to have to be a little bit lower, and often it means that the reed contacts the tongue a little bit further back than the tip. The oboist may have it very much right at the tip. The bassoonist will have it a little bit further back from the tip. And this different tongue position will, of course, have to be adjusted for the back consonants for the double tongue. Now, I prefer to use the consonants as a way to talk about double tonguing, but there are many authors that have vowels that are added to the consonants. For instance, ta or to, ka, ko, ti, ti, ki, ti, ki. And I find that the vowels will actually change by instrument, by register and performer. So it's best to actually think of the double tongue with using just the consonants, and then you'll adjust your vowels depending upon your personal choices. The oboe, for instance, has in general a higher tongue position than the bassoon. So when performers, when they're performing on those instruments, therefore need to make adjustments. Walter Carr, for instance, documents this in his work, which I have listed here. The oboe needs to have less oral cavity space than the bassoon player. The next video will discuss practice methods for double tonguing, and I hope you preview that.